Guys, Sylvia's mouth is going to get her in big trouble. This NYSC story is one you really want to watch all the way to the end. After getting through bullies in secondary school and spending 5 long years in the university, it was finally time for NYSC, the most exciting part of Sylvia's life. As Sylvia stepped down from the Kiki at the orientation camp gate, her heart was beating fast. She had wanted Lagos, and this was not Lagos, but maybe she could still have fun. In her mind, she had already made a list of things she wanted to do during NYSC. At the top of the list were 2 goals. First, she wanted to be sent to the best company in the state's capital, and second, she wanted to meet her future husband at camp. She smiled to herself. People said NYSC camp was a place where many couples met. Maybe her own love story could begin there too. But before she could even fix the strap of her bag, a group of local kids suddenly ran up to her. Before she could do anything, they grabbed her bags. Wait, Sylvia tried to shout, but the kids had already picked up her box and were walking quickly toward the camp gate. She saw one soldier standing near the gate. The soldier was watching everything with a small smile on his face. Sylvia thought the kids were just helping her, so she followed them inside the gate. But the moment they walked into the camp compound, the kids dropped the bags on the ground and held out their hands. "Copper, bring our money." Sylvia blinked, confused. "Money? Huh. So for carrying my bag from the gate to this place, you want me to pay you?" The kids looked at her with serious faces. Then one of them said, "Yes, now." Sylvia was still trying to figure out what was going on when the soldier at the gate shouted, "Pay them a tondo." Other Corps members turned to look. Then the soldier added, "Welcome to camp. Now you will open your eyes." People laughed. Sylvia's face got hot. Feeling embarrassed, she quickly gave the kids some money. They grabbed it and ran off to find their next victim. Sylvia sighed and picked up her box. "Welcome to NYSC camp," she said quietly to herself. She pulled her bags to the registration center, signed in, and was given a hostel. Inside the hostel, she got a bunk space next to 2 girls. Their names were Tanya and Chelsea. That was how the 3 of them became friends. Tanya stood between 2 bunks and said, "Let's change into our white and go and collect our khaki." Sylvia looked at her closely for the first time. Tanya was clearly a slay queen. Everything about her showed she was confident. Her hair was styled perfectly. Her nails were short but had nice polish. She was scrolling through an iPhone 17 Pro Max like someone who had never been poor a day in her life. This girl was clearly a big girl. Sylvia followed Tanya and Chelsea to collect their NYSC kits. When they came back to the hostel, Tanya quickly tried on her khaki trousers. She looked at herself in the mirror. Then she burst out laughing. "I can't wear this." Sylvia and Chelsea looked at her. Tanya pointed at the khaki trousers. "See now, this is too big. I want to be the most popular girl in camp. My sister told me that if I can become friends with the state coordinator or the camp commandant, I will be sent straight to Topo local government, the state capital." She pulled on the loose trousers. "But I can't be looking like this and walking with big people." Sylvia and Chelsea looked at each other. This girl had guts. Chelsea, in particular, was very interested. She leaned in closer. "So, it's possible to change our posting?" Tanya shrugged. "Of course it works." Chelsea got quiet. Her mind was already thinking. Maybe the commandant or a platoon officer could also help her get a good posting. Sylvia laughed. "There is a tailoring hall. We passed it when we were coming from the main hall. We can take the khaki there to be fixed, or we can take it to Mommy Market. My khaki is also too big." Tanya snapped her fingers. "That's why I like you. You know how to think." The next morning, Sylvia woke up suddenly. The hostel was loud. She checked the time. 2 a.m. People were already up. Buckets were banging. Showers were running. Girls were rushing to the bathroom. Morning devotion. Anna shouted from the other side of the hall. Sylvia rubbed her eyes and grabbed her towel. By the time she got back from the bathroom, she froze. Tanya and Chelsea were sitting on their beds putting on makeup. Sylvia stared at them. "You people are doing makeup at 2 a.m. Tanya laughed. "My sister already told me. If you don't do your makeup early in the morning, you won't have time during the day to do it, and you need to look pretty, even though it's NYSC camp. Chelsea nodded. Yes, that's camp life. Sylvia scratched her head. Me, I don't know how to put on makeup, and I don't really like makeup. I feel more confident with my natural face. Chelsea looked at her and laughed loudly. Look at this one. In 2025, every girl should know how to put on makeup, and there's nothing like, I feel more confident with my natural face. So, we who put on makeup, we are not confident now. She tilted her head. It's like you're a local girl, and if that's the case, you need to step up. Sylvia just smiled. But what if the makeup cracks later in the day? She asked. Tanya laughed. That only happens if you use cheap products. Sylvia nodded. Well, my own plan for today is to join Red Cross or OBS. I heard if you join those groups, they can help you get posted to the state capitol. Tanya quickly turned. I will join OBS too. But my real plan, she smiled with a sneaky look, is to become the commandant's friend. Chelsea burst out laughing. Suddenly, a trumpet sound rang across the camp. It was 3:58 a.m., 2 minutes to devotion. The girls grabbed their ID cards and water bottles and rushed outside. The place was cold. NYSC camp is so hard. Sylvia was sleepy through the whole devotion. But if she even tried to lean over and sleep, a soldier would punish her, and everyone was scared of Soldier Mary. She was known for showing no mercy. You don't want to get caught by her. Devotion ended at 6 a.m. Before everyone was sent off, an announcement was made. 2 Corps members were caught having sex last night. They will be sent out of camp right away. The whole parade ground became silent. Some people whispered, On day 1? This camp is not your university hostel. The official warned, if we catch you breaking any rules, your NYSC will end here. Learn to control yourselves. It is just 3 weeks. After these 3 weeks, you can leave this camp and do whatever you want. After devotion ended, something interesting happened. More than 5 guys walked up to Tanya and Chelsea. Can I have your number? Hi, I'm in Platoon 6. Please save my contact. The girls were already getting popular. The makeup thing worked. Sylvia watched quietly. Camp had only just started. Things were already getting interesting. After morning devotion, they went in for orientation, where the state coordinator told them that after finishing university, polytechnic, or a college of education, every graduate must do 1 year of NYSC, starting with a 3-week orientation camp before being sent to a local government for their place of primary assignment, where they get work experience. He told them to keep an open mind. While he was talking, Tanya was crushing on him. I wish I could get this man. Chelsea said, I know, right? Just as they were talking, the state coordinator added, and some of you will try to pay people for your posting or for redeployment. If I catch any of you doing that, your NYSC ends here. And if I catch any of you girls trying to seduce any official in this camp, your NYSC ends here. All of you must learn to be careful and control yourselves. As they listened to him, Chelsea said, he's a tough man, you have to be careful. Tanya nodded in agreement. She knew she needed to find another connection. Sylvia and Tanya both joined the Orientation Broadcasting Service, OBS. Chelsea, on the other hand, was picked to join Man O War, since they wanted stronger and bigger girls, and she was a good fit. During the first OBS meeting, the coordinator, a tall NYSC official with a calm but strong voice, walked into the studio. About 20 Corps members were sitting around microphones and recording gear. Some were already testing sound levels. The coordinator cleared his throat. Welcome to OBS. This unit is in charge of announcements, news, and radio broadcasts in camp. He walked slowly across the room. Every morning, your voice will be heard all over the camp. A few people nodded. Then he added, so, we need confidence, clear voices, and discipline. He looked down at his list. For tomorrow morning's broadcast, we need someone to lead the morning announcement. Right away, Tanya sat up straight. She crossed her legs and smiled. This was her moment. The coordinator looked up. Who can do it? Tanya raised her hand. Right away. I can. Her voice sounded confident, almost too confident. The coordinator nodded. Good. Then he looked around the room again. Anyone else? Then one of the technicians looked at Sylvia. You should try, he said. I heard you talking when you came in. You sound calm when you speak. Sylvia paused. She didn't come to compete, and her friend had already raised her hand. But this was also a chance for her. She needed the OBS to notice her. So, she slowly raised her hand. The mood in the room shifted a little. It was no longer just one person. It was now two. The coordinator handed them a sheet. Read this. Tanya went first. Her voice was stylish, controlled, and confident, and some people nodded. Then Sylvia stepped forward. She read. Her voice was not loud or dramatic, but it was clear, steady, and natural. The room got quiet. Even the technicians stopped fixing the mixer. When she finished, no one spoke for a second. The coordinator nodded slowly. Very good. He looked at his list again. For tomorrow morning's broadcast, Sylvia will handle it. A few people clapped. Sylvia blinked in surprise, but Tanya did not clap. Her smile vanished right away. After the meeting ended, people started leaving. Sylvia walked over to Tanya. Are you going back to the hostel? She asked. Tanya stopped and slowly turned around. Her face had changed. You didn't have to raise your hand, she said quietly. Sylvia frowned. What do you mean? Tanya laughed softly. Why are you pretending you don't know what I mean? You knew I wanted the role, and I was the first person to raise my hand. So, why did you raise your hand to compete with me? Sylvia was surprised. But I was the first to say I wanted to join OBS this morning. And I don't have money to pay for posting. It's my only option, so I also need this. Tanya looked at her and just walked away. Sylvia stood there confused. As Tanya walked away, she smiled to herself. She knew Sylvia did a better job, but she just really hated losing. That evening after orientation, Sylvia was sorting her clothes to wash when Chelsea asked her, Why do you want to wash when you can pay people some money to wash for you? Sylvia smiled. I am being careful with my money. Oh. Tanya was still upset with Sylvia, and she gave her a side eye. You keep using lack of money as an excuse, like you did during OBS today. Sylvia looked at her and asked, Tanya, I see you are still mad at me. But why are you even stressing yourself and fighting over a position with broke people like me? I mean, if posting to the capital is your goal, why don't you just pay for it? Chelsea and Tanya looked at Sylvia, shocked. Then Tanya said, Pay? She laughed. A man can do it for me. So, why should I spend my own money? She leaned in closer. If a man can take care of it, then let him take care of it. She smiled. You feel me, Abby? Sylvia opened her mouth. Then she closed it. She didn't know what to say. Chelsea smirked. You still have a lot to learn, she said. Sylvia forced a small smile, but deep inside, she was starting to see something. She and these girls did not think the same way. But well, they were already her friends, and it was just 3 weeks, so she could surely deal with it. Later that night, Chelsea and Tanya were alone. Sylvia had gone to get ready for her early OBS session. Chelsea leaned in closer. You see that girl? She acts like she's better than us. She doesn't do makeup. She feels better with her natural face. And see what she did to you during OBS. Tanya rolled her eyes. She's pretending to be a good girl. Chelsea scoffed. Good girl, okay? She's just faking it. They both laughed, but the laugh did not feel friendly. It felt sharp. The next morning, Sylvia woke up early. She put on her NYSC white outfit and rushed to OBS. From across the hostel, Tanya and Chelsea watched her quietly. Chelsea noticed. You are angry, she said. Tanya did not deny it. She knows too much. I won't even join OBS again since I don't like it anymore. Chelsea smiled. Don't worry. This camp will humble her. And just like that, camp had barely started, but lines had already been drawn. Friendship was already turning into rivalry, and Sylvia still didn't fully get it. That's why people say 3 people cannot be friends. 2 will team up against the other one. Without Sylvia knowing, it was clearly happening to her. After a few days in camp, things had started to show themselves. Camp was not just about drills, marching, and early morning devotion. It was about strategy. Everyone was planning to get a good company for their PPA. After one of the manual labor training sessions, Chelsea sat with a group of girls under a tree. They were tired, sweaty, and chatting freely. That's when one of the girls named Cottagette spoke. "I am going to run for vice president of my platoon," she said with confidence. Some girls turned to look at her. "President is too stressful," she went on. "But vice president, you still get all the benefits, but with less work." "What benefits?" Adewale asked. Cottagette laughed. "Better posting, connections, and being known." Chelsea got quiet. That was all she needed to hear. In that moment, she made up her mind. She would run for vice president. But what she didn't know was that Cottagette was also in her platoon. Later that evening, after parade drills, the three girls were walking back to the hostel. Tanya stretched. "I can't eat camp food. Oh, I'm too tired. I will go to Mommy Market to buy something later." Sylvia shook her head. "I can't be spending money like that every day. I will only buy food if the camp food is really bad." Chelsea laughed. "Sylvia, you're a fine girl." "Oh, but it seems you don't know how things work." Sylvia raised an eyebrow. "How?" Chelsea smirked. "Go there, sit nicely, a boy will pay." Tanya laughed. "Simple." Sylvia laughed too, but she was clearly not okay with what Chelsea said. Then she replied, "Maybe tomorrow I'll go with you guys, but for today, I'm eating camp food." Tanya grabbed Chelsea's hand. "Let's go, Abby. Leave her. We'll meet you later." Sylvia watched them. Then she kept going to the hostel to get her food flask. At the food spot, Tanya and Chelsea didn't just sit anywhere. They picked a place where they could be seen. Boys were already there. They ordered slowly, laughed softly, and got into position. And it worked. Before they even finished ordering, a guy named Callistus walked up. "I will pay." They smiled. He looked rich, exactly the kind of guy they wanted to hang out with. So, they accepted his offer. After eating, he came back. "Fine girl. Can I have your number?" They quickly looked at each other. Then they gave him their numbers. That night, as Sylvia came back from OBS practice, she looked tired but watched them. Chelsea leaned in closer. "Miss OBS Know-It-All is back." Tanya scoffed. "She's a faker." Chelsea nodded. "She acts like she doesn't need anyone. I pray this camp humbles her." Tanya quickly hushed as Sylvia got closer. They both went quiet, and the silence said it all. 3 days into camp, Platoon 3 and Platoon 7 held meetings and elections during lunch. Sylvia and Chelsea were in Platoon 7. Tanya was in Platoon 3. Later that evening, all three girls went to Mommy Market for dinner. Tanya was glowing. "I am my platoon's vice president," she said proudly. "I won the election. I'm so happy. I went with my platoon officer today to see the state coordinator. Oh my God, my plans are working." Sylvia smiled. "That's good." But Chelsea was quiet, too quiet. Tanya noticed. "What happened?" Chelsea forced a smile. "Nothing. I will tell you later." But Sylvia spoke too fast. "We were both nominated for vice president, but Cottagette won." Chelsea slowly turned to look at her. Her face changed right away. "Wait, you that used to eat camp food, what are you doing here today?" Sylvia blinked. Today's agusi was too watery. Tanya laughed. Chelsea did not. A guy paid for their food, and when he came to get their numbers, Tanya gave hers. Chelsea gave hers. Then when he turned to Sylvia, Sylvia smiled politely. "Thank you, but I won't be giving you my number." The guy nodded and said no problem as he left. Tanya and Chelsea looked at each other. They didn't say anything to Sylvia, but they were clearly mad at her. Why does she keep acting like she's better than everyone else? Later that night, when Sylvia went to take her bath, Chelsea finally spoke. I would have won that election." Tanya looked at her. "How?" Chelsea leaned forward. "Cottagette got 135 votes, I got 100 votes, and that girl got 65 votes. Tanya's face got hard as Chelsea kept going. "If she had stepped down, I would have won. She already has OBS. She would have let me have that one." "I am so angry right now," Chelsea said. Tanya sighed. "That girl knows too much. She just wants everything for herself. Did you notice how she was acting like Miss World after she refused to give her number to that guy?" Chelsea nodded. Yes, you noticed it, ABI. I don't like people like her. I wish we could cut her off. I pray they post her to the worst local government. They both laughed. Maybe it will teach her a lesson, Chelsea added. The week ended with the swearing-in parade. It was a proud moment. The parade ground was full of soldiers, officials, and the state governor was there. Chelsea stood in line as a member of Man O' War, moving in step as they welcomed the governor. Tanya was one of the chosen girls. She stepped forward and put the flower garland around the governor's neck. Sylvia, as part of OBS, stood among the core members shown to the governor. But under all the celebration, something had already started. After the swearing-in, everything changed. SAED started. Social night started. Freedom grew, movement grew, connections got easier, and slowly, without saying it out loud, Tanya and Chelsea were going one way, and Sylvia was going another. During parade practice and daily activities, Sylvia started to notice something. Soldiers, platoon officers, even male corps members had their eyes on Tanya. Some looked at Chelsea too, but Tanya was their main focus. During social night, Tanya and Chelsea always left the hall with guys. Sometimes during parade, a soldier called Soldier John would call out, "You come." Tanya would step forward, go to the clinic. She would leave the parade ground just like that. At first, Sylvia thought it was random. Maybe the soldier saw that Tanya was weak. But after the third time, she saw that Tanya was not weak. One evening after SAED, they sat together eating. Sylvia spoke. "I have noticed something." "What?" Tanya asked. "Those soldiers seem to be interested in you, especially Soldier John." Tanya smiled a little. "I know. I'm the one giving him the green light." After that day, Soldier Mary caught me sleeping during SAED and tried to punish me. Then Soldier John saved me. We got close and I gave him my number and we've been hanging out. Sylvia blinked. Chelsea laughed. "What is that face?" "Me too, I have been working on one platoon officer." She leaned back. "The man likes big things." Chelsea laughed. "We all have our plan. Your plan is OBS and our plan is to use men. Let's see which one works." Sylvia was not okay with what Chelsea said. "OBS will work," she replied a bit harshly. While Sylvia and Chelsea were trading words, Tanya went quiet. Then she sighed. "I just miss the pinkberry parfait and banana bread in Port Harcourt. I am tired of this mommy market food. No variety. Everyday rice and stew. Soup that's not even tasty. I need to have parfait, milky donuts, milkshake." She said all this as she pictured those things. Chelsea smiled. "Oh, you live in Port Harcourt. I live in Owerri. I know pinkberry. I saw them on TikTok and I ordered. They deliver anywhere in Nigeria." Then Chelsea turned to Sylvia. "I know you don't know pinkberry. You are a local girl. Or have you ever tasted parfait before?" she teased. Sylvia smiled. "Why do you like attacking me? Abi, leave me Jor. One day I will taste parfait." They all laughed. By week 2 in camp, that was when everything fully changed. Tanya and Chelsea started moving with soldiers, platoon officers, and well-connected guys. They were having fun, real fun. Sometimes soldiers helped them skip activities. Sometimes they didn't have to worry about money at all. Sometimes they were gone the whole night. Sylvia noticed, but she refused to join them, and this made Chelsea upset. One evening, Sylvia was sitting on her bed eating camp food, beans. Tanya and Chelsea walked in. Tanya looked into her plate. "You are eating this? You are eating camp beans? Are you not afraid of getting sick?" Chelsea laughed. "Omo, no matter how broke you are, you should be careful what you eat." They laughed loudly. Sylvia forced a smile, but her chest felt tight. It was not just embarrassment. It was a quiet reminder that she did not belong in their world. That night, lying on her bed, she stared at the ceiling. She thought about money, about how her parents were too broke to pay for redeployment or for a good PPA. She thought about how Tanya and Chelsea were having fun in camp without her. Then she remembered her mother's story, Hazel, Pink Lady, and everything she went through. Sylvia closed her eyes. "No matter how broke I am, no one will ever make me feel small," she whispered. A few days later, after social night, the 3 girls sat together. Tanya spoke first. Soldier John has already promised me he will help me get my posting to the state capital. Chelsea smiled. Me too. The platoon 8 officer has promised to help me. They laughed. Then Tanya turned to Sylvia. What about you? Sylvia shook her head. No, I can't pay for redeployment or for posting, and no one has promised me anything. Chelsea leaned forward. You know we can help you, BA. Tanya can talk to her soldier, and I will talk to my platoon officer. She paused. But you will have to pay. Oh. She smiled a bit. In cash or in kind? They both laughed. Sylvia shook her head right away. I don't have money, and I will never sleep with anyone for posting. Chelsea's face changed. Wait, you think you are better than us? Sylvia quickly shook her head. No, Tanya cut her off. It's okay. She stood up. Maybe when they post you to a useless local government, your eyes will open. Chelsea laughed. Reality will soon teach you. This camp will humble you. As Tanya climbed into her bunk, she looked down. You know they go to church. You know they do runs, and you are still broke. She shook her head. Fake struggle. Fake holy. Sylvia smiled quietly. OBS will work for me. I am sure of it. But that statement, everything Sylvia said, stuck with Chelsea. So, those who are sleeping with men are fools now? Sylvia is the only one with sense? Chelsea was also from a poor home, and she had done everything she could to get a good future for herself, and now Sylvia was making her feel dumb for doing all that. That night, Chelsea made a decision. She would deal with Sylvia quietly. And Sylvia had no idea. Camp had entered its 3rd week. People were getting tired. People were tired of waking up early. But behind the scenes, people were making moves to get a good PPA posting, as usual. Chelsea did not shout. She did not argue, and she did not face Sylvia directly. She just watched her, and she made her move. One night after social activities, Chelsea quietly left camp with a platoon 8 officer. They both went to a hotel outside camp. While lying next to him, she spoke softly. There's one girl in this camp. She talks too much. The officer looked at her. Then Chelsea went on. She said if she ever finds out that any platoon officer is promising posting in exchange for a night, she will report them to the state coordinator. The officer sat up a little. Boo. Chelsea smiled faintly. She's an OBS. She acts like she knows everything. She thinks she's better than everyone else. She paused. I want her to be posted somewhere bad. She should be sent to the worst local government in this state. Then the officer nodded. Coppers like that are the kind of coppers that cause trouble. Consider it done. Just send me her state code and her full name. Chelsea smiled. That was all she needed. Back at the camp, everything seemed normal. Camp activities went on. Platoon competitions had started. Chelsea was picked as Miss Plus Size for Platoon 7. She was practicing getting ready to shine. One night, she came back to the hostel quietly. Her eyes were red. She did not speak. Neither Tanya nor Sylvia asked. The next morning, after devotion, an announcement was made. Soldier Mary caught 2 coppers having sex last night. They will be sent out of camp right away, and their parents will be called. That was juicy news for the whole camp. Everyone wanted to know who. After devotion, something fell off. Chelsea was gone. She did not come back to the hostel. She did not come back to parade. She did not come back at all. Tanya frowned. Then she noticed something else. Callistus was gone too. She turned to Sylvia. I think I know what happened. Sylvia looked at her. Chelsea and Callistus, they were the ones who got caught having sex. Sylvia's eyes got wide. In the hostel, the news started to spread. Regina, one of the girls in the hostel, started telling everyone it was Chelsea because she also noticed that Chelsea was now gone. After what happened, even Tanya became careful. She slowed down how she moved. She slowed down how she trusted people. Without Chelsea, something changed between her and Sylvia. They got close. They talked more. They understood each other. One evening, Tanya spoke. You know Chelsea is mad at you, right? Sylvia frowned. Why? Tanya sighed. That election. She felt you should have stepped down for her. Sylvia looked shocked. I did not know. Tanya went on. The way you talk sometimes, you sound like you are better than other people. Sylvia shook her head quietly. I'm not. I just say things the way I see them. Tanya nodded. I know, but you need to learn how to talk better. Even if you are not doing something, you should not make people who are doing it feel dumb or make them feel like you are better than them. Sylvia knew Tanya was right. Her sisters had complained about it too. 2 days before posting, the OBS coordinator called Sylvia aside. Have you upset anyone in this camp? Sylvia frowned. The coordinator sighed. Some platoon officers are not happy with you. Sylvia's heart sank. But I will see what I can do, he added. Write your state code and where you want to be posted. Sylvia quickly wrote it down. She felt hopeful. She ran to Tanya. Tanya, the OBS coordinator, said, he'll help me with my posting. But he said some platoon officers are mad at me. But I can't remember upsetting anyone. Tanya smiled. Maybe it's just the way you talk. You remember what I told you. But thank God, he has offered to help. I'm so happy. We will get the same apartment. We'll be roommates. We're going to the capital. Sylvia smiled. Thank you so much, Tanya. They laughed and they both hugged. Finally, the day of posting came. All corps members went to their platoon officers to get their posting letter. Names were being called. People were shouting. People were celebrating. Some people were crying. Tanya came running. I got posted to the capital. NYSC Bottling Company. Oh my God, that's a very good PPA, Sylvia said. Oh, I'm happy for you, as she hugged Tanya. Then Tanya paused. Have you gotten yours? Sylvia shook her head.
No.
And almost right away, Sylvia's name was called. She stepped forward, took her paper and looked at it. Her face changed instantly. She was confused. She knew it was not the capital, but she had never heard of this local government. She walked back to Tanya. Tanya took the paper and looked at it. Her face changed. Wait, Sylvia, who did you upset? Of all the local governments in this state, this place? Oh my God. For you. Who did Sylvia upset? Well, we know she upset Chelsea. And she got the worst PPA ever, the worst local government. In the next episode, she's about to start the journey. The journey that some people never came back from. Let's see how she handles it.